encourage you to start taking risks. In fact, I'd go as far as to say that if you're not taking risks, you're probably going to end up living the kind of life that most of us don't want to live. Where, you know what, maybe you're not going to apply for the job that pays double your salary. You know what, maybe you're not going to ask that girl out because you might get rejected. She's a little prettier than your last one, so maybe it's not the best idea. You know what, maybe I won't move to my dream city, even though I feel it in my gut, in my soul, that it's where I belong. Nantucket is really crushing it for me. What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Andres Tagliaferro, or you can just call me Tags, and I just moved to my dream city. That's right, I just moved into my new apartment in Miami, Florida. If you guys have been subscribed to the channel, you'd know that I lived out of Dallas, Texas for most of my older years, but as a creative agency owner and somebody trying to build my personal brand, I really didn't feel like Dallas was the best place to do everything I wanted to do. Y también, bueno, hablo español. Yo soy venezolano. Yo me acuerdo cuando tenía 5 años me mudé de Venezuela a los Estados Unidos y entramos por Miami, Florida. So Miami just felt like the perfect place. And this was actually a very random leap of faith that I took alongside my new fiance. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I recently got engaged to the most gorgeous Colombian woman ever. Her name's Daniela, or Danny Sings on Instagram. You should go follow her and check. Yeah, we're both entrepreneurs. We're both in the creative field. We both wanted to expand into a bigger city with more creative elements flowing in and out of it. If you don't know anything about Miami, if all you know about Miami son los venezolanos y los cubanos y los puertorriqueños y todo eso, you wouldn't know that Art Basel, the biggest art show in the world, is in Miami, Florida. There's so many events, so many things that are going on in Miami, and really just the culture of the city placates a little more to somebody trying to build their own business and build their own personal brand. But I really wanted to break down, and actually this is actually the guest room. I know if you guys subscribe, you're used to seeing my cool studio with like the padding. Look, we're getting stuff situated, we're still figuring it out, but life has changed a lot for me in the last couple months in the best way possible. You know, I don't know, I recently just reached a different level in my relationship with God in terms of like understanding more, you know, of who Jesus is and who I am and what our relationship is supposed to be like, meant to be like. And that's been a whole journey for the last year of my life. So seeing how God has opened doors in this new land, in this new place, has been such a blessing and honestly such a testimony that I want to talk about someday, eventually. But this video is not about that, even though every video is really about that, you know, inherently. This video, I wanted to talk about the move itself, and I wanted to talk to any young creators, any young business owners, any young entrepreneurs. I like speaking to people who haven't really experienced what I've experienced, and hopefully they can learn through that. So I wanted to cement something in your guys' minds and thought process today as you watch this video, and that is about taking risks. As an entrepreneur, you have to have a really high risk tolerance. You have to be able to make quick decisions, make good decisions, and stick to your decisions. You know, it's very easy when you have a cushy job, or maybe you live with your parents still, you know, you're young, maybe you're in college and financial aid and all of this stuff. Making a big decision is never really a big decision unless you have something to lose. For me personally, right, the decision to move to my dream city, a bigger city where my rent now costs double, where bills cost double, where groceries cost double, where everything is more expensive. It really is a risk, you know. It really is something that had to be calculated, had to be thought out and measured. You know, it was not just a last minute thing. But I want to encourage the person watching this who wants to take a big risk, wants to make a big decision, but is maybe a little afraid. Maybe you're just scared of the uncertainty. You just don't know if it's going to work out, if it's not going to work out. Well, let me tell you something that I said on my Instagram recently via the reels that I do. Everybody is scared before they make a big decision. Everybody is afraid to launch the business they want to launch, make the move they want to make. Everybody's scared of reaching out to the person they admire for this or that. Everybody's scared of doing that thing. I want to encourage you to start training your muscle, facing fear, by taking those risks. When I say this, I'm not saying, you know, make dumb decisions and like just be delusional. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying when you have an idea that you believe in wholeheartedly and you feel something inside you telling you to do it, instead of listening to the voice of doubt, fear, and anxiety, listen to the voice of encouragement. Maybe this will work out, of hope. You know, that's really the main thing I want to say. You know, when you look at my life, and if you were God, right, if you were all knowing of everything that's in my life, right, and you saw this decision, it might not click with a couple people. I had a lot of friends in Dallas or family that maybe it didn't really click right away. You know what I'm saying? And the sooner you start taking risks, they don't have to be like moving to a big city. Starting your journey of building your risk tolerance is going to get you to the point where you can make decisions that most people won't make. Like the decision of, you know what? I am going to move to the city I've been wanting to move to my whole life. You know what? I do believe I can make this amount of money, and I'm going to work hard to do it in order to do it. You know what? I can save up 3 months worth of rent. So when I land there, I can have some time to figure it all out. Like, to get to a certain level of decision making, you have to start making those small risk decisions. So whatever it is right now, if you're watching this video and you care about self-improvement and you just like reading self-help books and all that other stuff this video got recommended to you for, I encourage you to start taking risks. In fact, I'd go as far as to say that if you're not taking risks and if you're not making decisions on a regular basis that, you know, require change, you're probably going to end up living the kind of life that most of us don't want to live, where, you know what, maybe you're not going to apply for the job that pays double your salary. Maybe you're just going to stick with this one because you know you have it and it's safe. You know what, maybe you're not going to ask that girl out because you might get rejected. She's a little prettier than your last one, so maybe it's not the best idea. You know, man, maybe, you know what, maybe I won't move to my dream city, even though I feel it in my gut, in my soul, that it's where I belong. Nantucket is really crushing it for me, and you know, my family's here, and well, rent is lower, so maybe I'll just stay here and it'll be safe. I think that the equivalent of a safe life, fully like in that sense and in the tone in which I'm speaking of, and you know what I'm talking about, leads to a very sad life, a very complacent life. And I don't know about you, but complacency is something I'd never want to embody. I want to embody a boldness and excitement and adventure and growth and improvement and progress. Complacency is the opposite of all of those things. And so I'm not telling you to finally pull the trigger and just buy a one-way ticket to Los Angeles or to New York or to move to Europe on a whim. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that for me, I really did take a leap of faith by trusting myself and honestly by trusting God that I would be taken care of in this city. And you know, that's not just an empty promise. That's from years of working, from years of relationship and connection. But if I just adopted a mindset of complacency and laziness and fear really of not succeeding or needing to be safe, then I wouldn't be sitting in this awesome apartment downtown and excited and honestly like the happiest I've ever been in my life. If when it comes to decisions, you're not always leaning towards the scary part, then I think you're never really going to live up to who you want to be. And since moving to Miami, it's been an explosion of just new connections, of being indoors and in rooms that I never would have been in Dallas, you know, talking to people that I never would have talked to in the old city, the small city that I was in the suburb. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just so many benefits that came from me making that decision. And the thing is, it wasn't like this very articulated plan that I pulled together to build I didn't have confidence in the plan. It started with the decision. I made first the decision in July of 2023. I told my fiance, you know what, we're gonna be in Miami by March next year, which is when my lease in Dallas ended, right? And then I just worked really hard. You know, I prayed a lot, did my very best to set ourselves up for that. But if I didn't, I really believe I didn't have the courage to make that decision up front. If I didn't have the courage to decide, no, we're gonna live in Miami, we're gonna make it happen, I wouldn't have made it happen. You know, if I didn't do that, if I didn't put the 60-day notice in when I could have just chosen not to and seen, maybe it'll work out. If it'll happen, God, show me a sign. If I had that kind of a mentality, I wouldn't be here. And so for you, make the choice, make the decision right now. Whatever that big decision is, make that choice today. And then you'll figure it out. You're going to find a way to make it happen, but you got to make that decision to make the big move. But yeah, if you're not following me on Instagram already, I heavily encourage you to do so. I've been posting reels like a madman there. You know anything about Miami, you know Instagram is the place to build. I'm really trying to build that platform, and so I've been posting a lot of content. If you want to be more in my day-to-day of like, you know, life in Miami as a new Miamian, you know, as a returning Miamian, to be honest, Instagram's gonna be the best place. But if you like this video, make sure you like it and leave a comment. You know, we have a really dope community here, and I've been gone, you know, prepping for this move and everything, but we're back and we'll be posting a bunch of videos a week and, you know, talking about these things, these mindset shifts that we all need to make, creative things and all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments, what do you think, man? Like, I'm in Miami. Do I have any subscribers that live here or any tips about Florida living, anything? Let me know, because we're brand new, you know what I'm saying? We're trying to learn or whatever. And if you're somebody who creates content here in Miami, hit me up. I'd love to collaborate. I'm on collaboration mode, so let me know. Been your boy Andres. We're in the 305, and I just want to remind you, like I always do, no matter where you are, what you're doing, what your fears are, the challenges that are set in front of you, just take a moment and remember to stay grateful. Peace.